Nobody tells you this about success. Introduction: the lie you were sold. Nobody tells you this about success. Not your teachers. Not your parents. Not the motivational videos you binge at 2 a.m. Not even the people who claim they've made it. Because the truth about success is uncomfortable. It doesn't sell well. It doesn't sound pretty. And it definitely doesn't go viral. You were sold a lie. A lie that success is about talent. A lie that success is about luck. A lie that success is about waking up early, working hard, and somehow everything magically falls into place. But if that were true, everyone who wakes up early would be successful. Everyone who works hard would be rich. Everyone with talent would be winning. And they're not. So today, we're going to talk about what nobody tells you. Not to motivate you. Not to hype you up. But to wake you up. Because if you don't understand this, you will keep grinding in the wrong direction and calling it discipline. Chapter 1. Success is lonely before it is loud. Nobody tells you that success starts in silence. Before the applause. Before the money. Before the recognition. Success begins when nobody cares. You post content and nobody watches. You build skills and nobody notices. You work on yourself and nobody claps. And that silence does something dangerous. It makes you question yourself. You start wondering, is this even worth it? Am I wasting my time? Why does nobody support me? Here's the truth. If people supported you in the beginning, it would mean you're doing something ordinary. Extraordinary paths are always empty at first. The crowd only shows up when the results are visible. But the work happens when you're invisible. Most people quit here. Not because they're weak, but because nobody prepared them for the loneliness. Chapter 2. Hard work is not enough. Nobody tells you this, but hard work alone will not save you. There are millions of people working hard every single day and getting nowhere. Hard work without direction is just exhaustion. Hard work without leverage is just survival. Hard work without patience is frustration. You can dig a hole with maximum effort, but if you're digging in the wrong place, you'll never find gold. Success is not about how hard you work. It's about what you work on, how long you stay consistent, and how intelligently you adapt. Nobody tells you that sometimes the smartest move is to stop working and start thinking. Chapter 3. You will outgrow people you love. This is the part nobody wants to talk about. Success will change your relationships. Not because you became arrogant. Not because you think you're better. But because growth creates distance. Your conversations change. Your priorities shift. Your tolerance for excuses disappears. And suddenly, people you love don't understand you anymore. They say you've changed. But what they really mean is, you no longer fit the version of you that made us comfortable. This hurts. Deeply. And many people choose to stay small just to stay connected. Nobody tells you that sometimes you have to choose between growth and approval. And success always demands a choice. Chapter 4. Discipline is boring, not emotiving. Nobody tells you that real discipline feels dull. It's not dramatic. It's not exciting. It's not cinematic. It's waking up and doing the same thing again. And again. And again. Even when you're tired. Even when you're uninspired. Even when you hate it. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is repetitive. Success is built on boring days executed consistently. The reason most people fail is not lack of motivation. It's lack of tolerance for boredom. They want progress to feel exciting. But real progress feels like routine. Chapter 5. Failure feel like failure. Nobody tells you this. Failure rarely feels like a dramatic collapse. It feels like stagnation. It feels like slow progress. It feels like doing everything right and still seeing nothing happen. Failure looks like trying again, adjusting, learning, repeating. People imagine failure as falling down, but most failures feel like standing still. And that's where patience separates winners from quitters. Chapter 6. You will do everything right and still lose. This one hurts. Nobody tells you that success is not fair. You can do everything right and still fail. You can prepare perfectly and still lose. You can give your best and still fall short. And this is where entitlement kills dreams. Success doesn't owe you anything. Effort does not guarantee outcome. Discipline does not guarantee recognition. But quitting guarantees regret. Chapter 7. Success demands identity chain. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your identity. Nobody tells you that success requires becoming someone new. New habits, new standards, new boundaries, new self-talk. You cannot build a high-level life with a low-level identity. And the hardest part is letting go of who you used to be. Old comfort, old excuses, old patterns. Growth feels like betrayal to your past self. Chapter 8. Consistency beats intensity. Nobody tells you this simple truth. Doing a little every day beats doing a lot sometimes. People burn out because they try to sprint a marathon. Success rewards those who can show up without burning out. Slow progress compounds. Inconsistent intensity collapses. What you repeat becomes who you are. Nobody tells you these things because they don't sound good. But they are real. Success is not a moment. It's a process that tests your patience, your identity, and your willingness to walk alone. If this made you uncomfortable, good. That means you're listening. This is only the beginning. Chapter 9. Self-doubt never disappears. Nobody tells you that self-doubt doesn't go away when you succeed. You think confidence comes after results. You think once you win, the fear will disappear. It doesn't. New levels bring new doubts. Am I good enough for this level? Was this luck? Can I do it again? What if I lose everything? The difference is not that successful people don't feel doubt. The difference is they move forward with doubt. Confidence is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to act despite it. Most people wait to feel ready. Winners move while shaking. Chapter 10. Success will expose your weaknesses. Success doesn't fix you. It exposes you. More money exposes bad habits. More attention exposes insecurity. More responsibility exposes poor discipline. If you don't fix your internal problems, success will amplify them. That's why you see people who made it and still self-destruct. Nobody tells you that inner work matters more than external wins. Your mindset determines whether success becomes freedom or a prison. Chapter 11. People will root for you quietly. Nobody tells you this painful truth. Most people want you to do well, but not better than them. They'll like your posts. They'll say keep going. But when you start winning, the energy changes. Support becomes silence. Compliments become comparisons. Encouragement becomes distance. Not because you did something wrong, but because your growth forces them to confront their stagnation. Learn this early. Not everyone who claps for you wants you to cross the finish line. Chapter 12. Sacrifice is non-negotiable. Success costs something. Sleep, comfort, entertainment, relationships. old versions of yourself. Anyone who tells you otherwise is selling fantasy. You don't get everything. You choose what you're willing to give up. Every yes to your future is a no to something else. And the earlier you accept that, the less bitter you become. Chapter 13. Money changes how you see time. Nobody tells you this about success and money. Money doesn't buy happiness. It buys time. Time to think. Time to rest. Time to learn. Time to choose. Before success, you trade time for money. After success, you protect time at all costs. That's when you realize the real luxury is not things. It's control over your day. Chapter 14. Most advice is useless. Nobody tells you that most advice comes from people who never did the thing. They repeat quotes. They share opinions. They speak confidently about paths they never walked. Success requires filtering voices. Too many opinions will paralyze you. Too much advice will confuse you. Listen to those who have results. Ignore those who only have opinions. Chapter 15. You will feel behind even when you're ahead. Social media never shows reality. You'll see people younger, richer, faster. And even when you're progressing, you'll feel late. Nobody tells you that comparison never ends. The only real metric is this: are you better than yesterday? If yes, you're winning. Chapter 16. Momentum is fragile. Success is easier to lose than to build. One bad habit can undo years of discipline. One lazy season can kill momentum. That's why humility matters. Stay hungry. Stay alert. Stay consistent. Never assume you've arrived. Chapter 17. Success requires saying no. You can't do everything. More opportunities come with growth, but saying yes to all of them will destroy focus. Every distraction steals momentum. Successful people protect their energy aggressively. No is a complete sentence. Chapter 18. You won't feel successful. Here's the secret nobody admits. Success feels normal once you're there. What once felt impossible becomes routine. That's why gratitude matters. Celebrate progress. Recognize growth. Otherwise, you'll keep chasing milestones without satisfaction. Success is not what you imagined. It's quieter, harder, lonelier, more demanding. But it's also more meaningful. If you're still listening, you're built for this. And we're not done yet. Chapter 19. The dark seasons are part of the process. Nobody tells you that every serious path includes dark seasons. Not dramatic failure. Not visible collapse. But quiet heaviness. Days when nothing excites you. Weeks when progress feels fake. Months when discipline feels pointless. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're just in the part of the journey where growth is internal. Roots grow in darkness. Most people quit here because they confuse discomfort with danger. But this phase is not a sign to stop. It's a sign to slow down, not give up. Chapter 20. Burnout comes from misaligned purpose. Burnout is not caused by hard work alone. It's caused by working hard on something you don't believe in. When effort has no meaning, exhaustion becomes unbearable. Successful people reconnect with why before pushing harder. Rest is not weakness. Recovery is strategy. The goal is not to work until you break. The goal is to build something you can sustain.